Hello and welcome to Ecocentric. I'm your host, Jake Zaleski. We've got a lot of environmental news to cover for this week, so let's get started. Our first story is that Adidas and NHL have announced their new recycled and upcycled eco-friendly jerseys created by Parley Ocean Plastic. Adidas claims this is going from threat to thread. From Parley's website, Parley has been created to accelerate a process of change that is already in progress. No other big movement in the history of humankind has developed faster than the environmental cause. We want to make sure we are fast enough to meet the ultimate deadline and turn the ship around before we may lose the treasure we have only just started to explore and still don't fully understand the fantastic blue universe beneath us. This story might not be dramatic and it might not have that much of an impact, but it's still a good thing to do. Any company or group rapidly moving away from plastic has my support. Next up, San Diego announced a ban on styrofoam plastic, similar to the one in New York we covered last week. Deliberation, discussions, and debate on this have been going on for some time, and the ban will go into effect in April. According to NBC San Diego, this ban applies to products such as tear containers, coolers, and egg cartons. Small businesses can petition the city to give them special privilege, but the first offense is $200 and the following offenses are $500. Here's a clip from our previous video on why styrofoam was bad. This may seem a bit extreme to some, but according to Clean Water Action California, styrofoam litter is the second most abundant form of beach debris. On the human health side, the monomer that is used to make styrofoam, styrene, is found in 100% of all human fat tissue samples and is a possible carcinogen. After San Francisco enacted a similar ban, they had a 36% decline in styrofoam litter, which is good, because these packaging products are typically not clean enough to be recycled. In this week's European news, state-owned Spanish hotels named Paradores have announced as of the beginning of 2019, they will power all 97 locations using renewable energy sources. This is one of the first, but small, steps to Spain's goal of using only renewable energy sources by 2050. Sounds like a great vacation spot if you're ever in Europe. Way to set an example, Spain. For our next story, we're talking about an electric car. If you're familiar with this channel, you might be surprised to find out this isn't about Tesla. Instead, it's about Cadillac. Cadillac is going to release an electric SUV that looks like this. It's only a concept for now, but GM seems quite serious about it. GM is their parent company. Many other car companies are making electric cars, so Cadillac is only the latest in a long line. But hopefully, this new Cadillac helps to disprove the myth that electric cars are somehow weird or niche. Virtually any kind of transportation now, bike, motorcycle, big car, small car, etc., can be electric. Giving people more options will help personalize their product and increase sales. The electric car revolution continues. Last week, we covered Australia and how pro-environmental efforts by the Australian Senate stopped 300 million tons of carbon dioxide to be released and subsequently saved Australians on average $55 per year per household on their electricity bills. Now it looks like that trend towards sustainability is going to continue to grow. Last year, 2018, Australia installed more solar panels and wind turbines than ever before, according to The Guardian. The cost of battery storage for these renewables has gone down 21% over the past few years, continuing the trend that being eco-friendly is rapidly becoming cheaper than being environmentally destructive. Solar panels also cover 2 million roofs now, even though there are less than 100,000 homes with them only a decade ago. And again, the May elections coming up are going to be critically important to the environmental movement in Australia. They're going to be very important for transitioning to renewable energy. If you live in Australia, vote. Not only your future, but the future of the world depends on it. It is likely that everyone watching this has heard of the environmentalist beloved climate change. Most of us know of the melting ice caps in Antarctica and that affects the habitat of polar bears and other various species. But have we underestimated this horrible reality? A new analysis from the journal Science has found that oceans are actually heating 40% faster than what the United States government estimated roughly 5 years ago. As well as this, ice loss from Antarctica has increased 6-fold since the 1970s. Not since the start of the Industrial Revolution, not since the start of the 20th century, It has increased sixfold in the past 40 to 50 years. Now this is alarming. Our ocean is our buffer against global warming, as well as a tool to gauge global warming. The ocean absorbs a whopping 93% of heat released by greenhouse gases that are produced by humans. We hate to be downers, but unless we curb the global carbon footprint, the sea level will rise 3 feet, inundating islands, further endangering vulnerable species, and threatening fresh water supply. Something has to be done, which leads us to our next story, Earthstrike. On January 15th, Earthstrike held a starting protest to kick off the 4 protests/strikes they'll be doing this year in preparation for a general worldwide strike in September. This preparation protest went quite well, considering the fact that it was only the first of many. We contacted the group and they said that, quote, considering that Earthstrike was born just a couple of months ago, the results we had in our first protests, especially in Europe, are very promising, and we are confident that our movement will leave a lasting impact on the world in 2019 and beyond. Earthstrike is a story we will continue to cover throughout the year. For our final story, we're going to give a prime example on why you have voice and why you need to use it. Moms Lauren Atkins and Wendy Harley filed a lawsuit against the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, earlier this week due to both their sons dying from inhalation of the chemical methylene chloride. Methylene chloride is found in most paint thinners and is known as a probable human carcinogen despite being unregulated by the EPA. Surprising considering, according to the suit, the chemical has been linked to more than 50 reported deaths. Luckily, American hardware stores, such as Home Depot and Lowe's, are taking preventative action. Ecocentric stands with these women completely. Please take the preventative route when it comes to any form of painting, that being behind the use of gas masks, painting in a ventilated area, as well as wearing protective gear. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. As always, you can find the full articles in the description below. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps us out. You can also follow us on Instagram at WeAreEcocentric. Well, that's all from me. Now it's your turn to save the world. See you next time.